Libra, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early June 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Libra collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Libras in early June? It is Gemini season, lovely time of year. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Libra. Pardon me, I almost said Gemini. What do we got for the lovely Libras in early June? Please, nice and quick. There we go. Now, this is a nice future focus card that we have here, Libra. And you see the lady, she's in that beautiful dress on the seaside looking forward. And that's the one thing I always like about this, because one, it could be very strategic and plan-based, but to me, it's like I'm looking out at the horizon, which there's something eerily beautiful about the way this card looks. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk about this beautiful image here. So again, the lady on the beach, the tide is coming in and she is looking out at these little markers up in the sky, and the rainbow is coming out of them. So to me, this is kind of looking towards the future with optimism, whether that's what you're doing or whether that's advice from spirit. Now, I do know it's very important in spirituality and mindfulness to try to stay present, where it's like, okay, we try not to live in the past too much. We try not to live too far into the future. But hey, nothing wrong with looking down the line, having goals, having things that you want to do, having things that you want to complete, because that's how this feels to me, where it's like I have a list and I'm checking things off the list. There are things I want to do and I want to attain. So for some of you, that might be a good way to move forward with any situation you're dealing with, is to actually have goals set and little checkpoints along the way. Now, when someone is looking too far into the future, that can cause anxiety. So that's something to watch out for in this time, because it's like I'm looking ahead, worrying about this, worrying about that, worrying about that. That's the only thing I'd watch out for with this card. But for the most part, I like that it seems to be moving ahead. That's the thing. It's not moving backwards, it's moving ahead. So we're just going to put her down right there, and let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. Shuffle it up one time here for the beautiful Libras. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled A Serious Warning, and there were some dicey energy showing up, so I hope you didn't have a rough one, my friends. I remember there was a 10 of Swords. There was like this very cautious type of energy. So hopefully you haven't been feeling too rough. You know how I feel about readings. It's just an energetic weather report. Sometimes the storm doesn't hit, and that's what I hope is the case. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. What do we got for the lovely Libras in early June? What do we got? Thank you. Cool. Oh, all right. That's a bit of an Uno reverse, right? Last week we started with the 10 of Swords. This week we start with the 10 of Pentacles. I'll take it. It's a pretty good card. Solid, stable. Definitely an energy that's in Pentacle mode. Let's get a couple more. What do we got for Libra? Thank you. Okay. Tower next to the 10 of Pentacles. So we're going to definitely need to keep a look at it. So just like every Libra reading in existence, there's going to be a lot of nuance. There's going to be a lot of gray area. It's something I love about reading for Libras. All right, let's get one more. Okay, Hierophant. So much opposing energy. So much opposing energy, and energy just like building up underneath the surface. And that's the one thing I really want to look at. Now, there's some great stuff here, don't get me wrong. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know me, I always love to look at the elements. I feel like that is a way to frame the reading, and it tells us how things are going to flow, or very important areas that could pop up. And you have a pretty good mixture, but normally these energies can oppose people with air sign placements. But we have a lot of earth on the exterior and we have water in the center. Now, this combination is usually pretty good, though. Like when we mix earth and water, to me, that represents blessings and abundance usually. but it could also be an energy that's changing rapidly, depending on which of these energies is dominant. That's the important thing. Now, when it comes to Earth, with the Hierophant and the Ten of Pentacles, solid, stable. Those represent stability, predictability. So whether it's internal stability or external, it could be your daily routine. It could be day-to-day life. It could be money, work, business, finance. Again, routine is a big thing. Home and family. That all plays a heavy part in Earth energy. So it's the Earth that we live in. It's our playground. It's our sandbox, right? The downside to Earth energy is that sometimes it could feel stuck. It could feel very heavy. It could feel like it's between a rock and a hard place. So either it's very, very snug and secure, or it can be frustrating, depending. So we need to keep an eye as we move forward. Then in the center, we have water, which does loosen everything up. Now, water is all internal energy. It's matters of the heart, right? And even though the tower looks like fire and brimstone, it's Scorpio energy. It's internal. Now, it could be anything that we're emotionally invested in, whether it's a situation, whether it's a person, you name it. It's like if I care about it, water represents it. Water is strong when it comes to partnerships and connections, imagination, creativity, any form of artistic expression, intuition, energetic sensitivity. These all play a part when it comes to water. The downside to water is that sometimes it moves very rapidly and it's very intense and it can pull us under. It's very much back and forth. So we want to keep an eye as we move further, because these energies could work well together, but they could also clash. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with one of the best cards in the deck. It's one of my favorites. We got the 10 of Pentacles right there. And you're going to see what I mean about the opposing energy as we move forward. But we see they have the happy family. They got the little puppy dogs right there. 10 Pentacles. They're cool, right? So to me, this is generally an energy of expansion. So I say, yeah, this is a win. This is a victory of some kind. This is predictability. It's something going the way I expect it to go. Now, all 10s in tarot could represent endings. Generally, the Ten of Pentacles is like a happy ending, very similar to the Ten of Cups. So I really like this card. Again, it represents stability, blessings, abundance, and expansion. So it's really nice. It can represent the family and household heavily, though, because you see the house, the whole family there. So you might have a lot of matters dealing with home and household when this card is here. The big downside to the Ten of Pentacles is that, yeah, these are 10 full pentacles and they are very heavy. So, similar to what I was saying about the earth element in and of itself, sometimes this energy could be frustrating. Sometimes it feels like we're in a rock and a hard place. Sometimes it could even be boring, right? So, we need to keep an eye on this as we move further. Now, all of those energies I just described and will describe again when we get to the back end over here could get thrown for a loop. That is definitely sure. That's definitely, or could definitely be the case. I don't want to say it's definitive just yet. But moving to the center, we got the tower. Dun, dun, dun. And you know me, I always say, don't be afraid of the tower. Not every tower is a bad tower. It can be very good. But whereas these cards are very stable and predictable, the tower is not. The tower is shocking. It's an energy that comes out of the blue. So could it be a very good shock? Absolutely. Could it be a not so nice shock? Yeah, sure. It's a karmic energy. It could represent endings. It could represent hitting the reset button, starting something with a clean slate, rebuilding the foundation. So there's some good aspects to this card for sure, because it could be a good shock. But one thing I just want to impress is that it's very, very intense. It's very sudden, it's very intense. So when I see it surrounded by these earthy energies, it's like I feel something building up within me. Now, that can be great if channeled in the proper direction, but we want to definitely dig into this further and see what it could be. I think that's a big highlight. But moving to the back end, we have the Hierophant. And funny enough, even on the zodiacal wheel, these energies are complete and total opposites. Because the Tower is Scorpio, this one is Taurus. Those are right across from each other on the zodiacal wheel. Now, the Hierophant is very traditional. It means a lot of different things. So, first and foremost, it could be very spiritual. It could represent spiritual practice, spiritual study. It could represent your routine, just like with the earth, your day to day life. It is very predictable. What you see is what you get. It's traditional. We've always done it this way. We will always do it this way. That's how this card rolls. It's not like the tower going all wild. This one is very reined in. Um, it could represent governments and institutions and corporations. This could be a very big power structure of some sort as well. So we want to keep a close eye on the Hierophant. But when this card flips in reverse, it's identical to the tower, right? The Hierophant in reverse is identical to the tower to me, at least when I read it. So if you're looking at the whole ball of wax, it's like we have these energies on the outside trying to contain something really, really powerful. And we want to see if it can, or if it'll stay that way. Maybe it's a good tower. But I want to dive deeper on all of it, Libra. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. Let's get a good shuffle. And yeah, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Ten of Pentacles. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Libra, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is that Ten of Pentacles here? Why is the Ten of Pentacles here? Okay. So we have the Nine of Cups in reverse underneath this Ten of Pentacles. Now, normally the Nine of Cups is usually extremely, extremely happy. Um, I don't want to say this energy feels boring or the energy feels bored, but it could potentially be that, because usually the Nine of Pentacles is very open, very welcoming. It's a wish fulfillment card. So this whole reading that I'm seeing here, it's not like it's bad, but this feels kind of like a veneer. So you know when you're bothered by something and someone asks you like, "Hey, what's wrong?" and you're like, "Everything's cool, everything's perfect, another day in paradise." It's like that's how this feels to me, where it's like, all right, well, maybe something isn't wrong, but there is this energy that's like sticking in my side. That's the best way I can put it. Now, the Nine of Cups in reverse can sometimes represent excess. So, like with the Ten of Pentacles, Nine of Cups in reverse, just again, watch out for excessive behavior, lashing out, just very sudden types of energy where it's like, all right, this energy's going off script. Energy's usually like this, and then boom, it's doing all this other stuff, especially with this energy building up in the center. I think that's very important. But yeah, the Ten of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, either it's a veneer of someone saying, yeah, everything's cool, everything's fine, don't worry about it, or it's a win, but it's not the win that I dreamed of, if that makes sense. Where it's like, yeah, this is good, I'll take it, but it's not 100% what I wanted. It's not like being disappointed in a gift, but it's like I almost got it all. I'm like so close. Let's keep moving. I don't want to confuse anyone because there's like so much subtlety here. I would also say watch out for boredom, especially boredom in routine, like with this energy building up in the center. But let's go in on the tower. We'll see what that has. And then I really want to get to the Hierophant. So why is the tower here? Or it could even be an energy where like everything's fine, like nothing's really wrong, but it feels like I need something. It feels like I want something. I don't know what's missing. That's how that feels to me. Let's go in on the tower. I can't put my finger on what's missing. Whoa. Okay. So we have the Eight of Wands, even more of this intensity. And I always say it about the Eight of Wands, it's one of the fastest moving cards in the whole entire deck. It does hold a very, very similar vibe to the Tower, that's for sure. Normally it does connect with like communication, conversation. So like when I see the Tower with the Eight of Wands, either it's a shocking action or a shocking talk. That's one or the other. It feels very simple, straightforward. Or if we take the shocking action and shocking talk and put it to the side for now, this could be that energetic buildup that I'm feeling. So if there's certain things that you've been suppressing, or I don't know, it's just that there's something building up inside of me, and it's hard for me to put my finger on it. That's the best way to put it. Um, Eight of Wands, again, fiery back and forth. It's a big card of action, doing things. This energy could want to switch something up rapidly, where it's like, you know what, I'm tired of the same old, same old. I'm going to go do this. So that could be the shocking action where it's like, wait, everything was fine, everything was predictable. Nope, boring, boom, I'm going to do this. So whether that's somebody else or even you, it's an energy that takes an action completely out of the blue. Or again, this could be a conversation you're not expecting to have if we are to keep it simple. But the main overarching theme I'm picking up here is trying to contain a very intense energy. I don't know what's trying to be contained. So we're going to keep going. So whether it is an urge, whether it's something you're wanting to do, it's like, nope, I'm going to bottle this up. Nope, can't do that. I'm trying to bottle something up until it dissipates, but it's not gonna. Like this energy, it's not going anywhere. It's only going to intensify more. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. Let's see what the Hierophant has. So the shocking energy is in play. The intense energy is definitely in play. Let's see why the Hierophant's here. Okay. Full in reverse. Okay. Libra. The energy feels very impulsive, especially when we get to the back end here. which again, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Like, listen, I have Aries placements, get it. Nothing wrong with some shaking things up every now and then. Nothing wrong with being a little risky or taking controlled risks. But when I see the Hierophant, again, the very predictable energy with the Fool in reverse underneath it, it's like, I need to do something different. Like what's happening right now is not quite working out for me. And again, this doesn't even have to be you. You might be cool and content and all this beautiful good energy. This could be someone around you where it's like, I don't know why they're shaking it up the way they are. But the Fool in reverse, it's kind of reckless. It's kind of risky. So again, watch out for risky behaviors or someone just saying, screw it, I'm switching it up or I'm going to do it. So again, with the shocking action, it's here again. Now the Fool, Aries, some people also link it to Aquarius if you have any of those placements. Usually it's very optimistic, setting off on a new adventure, new journey, right? Very optimistic. I really like it. It's jovial. But the downside is the risk taking, especially when it shows up in reverse, where it's like, screw it, I'm just going to do it, right? And it's like, so the way it seems to me, if I look at the big ball of wax, is we have these energies trying to contain all this, and this is the leaky spot. That's how it feels, where it's like all this energy is containing this Tower and Eight of Wands, and this is the leaky spot. That's where the energy releases and gets out of dodge. So it's a very unique reading, especially in the way it's presenting this week. So whether it's someone else being very risky or saying, screw it, I'm going to do this. And again, that doesn't have to be bad, but it's showing up here. I saw something like this for you a long time ago, and it's showing up again. But let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow. So very intriguing stuff. There's some really good energy here too, Libra. Position number one, we got the Ten of Pentacles, Nine of Cups in reverse. Yeah, I think it's great. It's good. It also feels like a win, but not everything I dreamed of. Like it feels solid and stable. It feels like everything's fine. But it also has one of those energies where it's like I'm feeling off and someone asks me if I'm fine and I just put on that happy veneer where it's like, yeah, no, cool. Everything's cool. Another day in paradise. Moving to the middle, and this does feel very constrained. We have the Tower with the Eight of Wands in the upright. So whether this is someone taking action out of the blue, shocking action, or even a shocking conversation, all of that can be in play. But I would expect for a lot of Libras a strong internal intensity in this time. And if that's not you, it could be someone close to you, where it's like there's this thing, this fire building up inside of me, and it's going to have to go somewhere at some point. Because it's like if you keep it bottled up, it's not just going to disappear. It needs to go somewhere. Moving to the back end, we have the Hierophant, Fool in reverse. There we have that risky energy. There we have the leak, where the energy just finally just does something and doesn't even think it through. So just again, watch the temptations, watch the urges in this time. And again, there's nothing wrong with indulging in those things from time to time as long as it's safe. But this energy to me feels like it's going to shake something up in a big way. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for you, Libra. And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get this shadow card out here. Let's get this shadow card out. Okay, cool. The Emperor, Aries. Okay. So the Emperor shows up here in the shadows. If you have a connection to an Aries, this could be them showing up. But this also kind of fits the bill with a lot of the energy we were seeing here. Now, speaking as someone that has major Aries placements myself, something that a lot of people say about Aries is they can sometimes be impulsive, right? And the thing with the Emperor, it is the King of Kings, usually tries to bring order, tries to control things, it tries to bottle things up, just like we're seeing in the main part of the spread. So that's something to watch out for. Like there might need to be some sort of action put somewhere, right? Like all this energy needs to go somewhere. It's not just going to dissipate. That's a big theme I'm picking up here this week. So whether it's thoughts, whether it's whatever it is, like it's not just going to dissipate on its own. So again, I always like to mention that Libra and Aries, they're very similar because they're right across from each other on the zodiacal wheel, similar to Taurus and Scorpio. It's like they want similar things, but they approach them in different ways. How like Libra will take a lot of things into consideration. Aries is very quick to jump. So just again, in this time, watch the urges for sure, especially with the Emperor here. But yeah, Libra, that's what I got for you, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the June subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My June calendar is live and spots go quick, so you could go check that out. But for the June subscriber surprise, doing another winner's choice. The winners, which will be three, will have a choice between either the Everyday Witches Tarot, which is a lovely tarot deck, one of my all-time favorites, or you can choose a custom pendant from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's two simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the tarot cards in the deck, which one do you feel represents you and your energy best? You could even pick multiple if you'd like. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab /post tab. My friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.